I was alone getting high and I was crying because it was miserable. And I remember I just said it out loud, like, if I don't wake up tomorrow, I'm cool with it. I grew up in Shafter, small town. My parents are Christians. Matter of fact, when I was in junior high, they planted a church. Played sports my whole life, and I did good in school. And a lot of my friends sold meth, so I got into hanging out and selling meth. And then I tried it, and before I knew it, I had a couple of years of getting high every day with no breaks. And it goes from being fun and a party to being a chore and being miserable. And I would only come around my parents for the holidays, and I would never stay long because it's really hard to be around the people that love you while you're high. I was arrested multiple times for having meth on me and a weapon. I was probated to Teen Challenge. And I just couldn't take it anymore. My life was over. I had no car, no job, nobody wanted me around. I walked out to the middle of the orchards and I decided that I was gonna kill myself that day. But I remember that moment was the first time that I actually had a real conversation with God. As I looked up in the sky and I was just like, where are you? It was clear. The voice told me, get up and go to your parents. So I got up and I walked to my mom and dad's house. My dad came in the room and he asked me what was wrong, and I told him, I need your help. And my dad, being who he is, he turned around and picked up the Bible. And he said, this word of God's the only thing that's gonna change you. I knew when I was sitting out in the orchard and I said, do something, that was what God was gonna do. So I got to Reedley Teen Challenge on June 5th, 2019. It was hard for me. It was hard for me to humble myself. For the first 3 months, I struggled and struggled and struggled. And one day I made a decision. I remember I was very upset and I was sitting in the kitchen and my advisor came up to me and I said, I want to go back. He said, Gabriel, you need to make a decision. And it was that night that I cried myself to sleep, and I almost felt like I was mourning because I knew that that part of my life was done and I was gonna move forward. And for the next 3 months, I put in a lot of work and a lot of time I spent in the chapel, but I let God work on me. For me, working at Shafter was the biggest blessing ever. My whole family is here. God brought me back here to make a difference in the community that I once hurt with drugs and alcohol. God brought me back to the same place where I thought I was lost so I can be found. He healed me and brought me back so I can give my testimony to the people that are out here in my community still struggling with the same things that I struggled with. Staff member, I thought that I was gonna come and I was gonna speak these great things into these students' lives and I was gonna help them change. And I quickly learned that I came to Shafter to learn from the men. That I came to Shafter so these men, so they can help change my life. God has used Teen Challenge not only to change my life, to make me a man, but to also give me a wife. We were married March 4th and it's been awesome. We've been married for almost a year. And she serves at the women's campus in Bakersfield. I serve here in Shafter. And our life is just ministry. I didn't know that giving God a legit chance to work in my life would lead me to where I am right now. I have the most joy I've ever had. And life is not perfect. Life is hard. Things still happen. But I know that with God before me, everything's gonna be okay.